to say? Do you want to hop in, man? You got it. Extends to you too, Rudo, if you are so inclined. I assume. What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Winners Lounge. Oh, and how sweet it is. The Winners Lounge. A sweet Winners Lounge. A funky Winners Lounge. Very funky.
Dude, this is the funkiest of all Winners Lounges.
This Nuggets team rules, you guys.
They're incredible.
This Nuggets team is so freaking fun to root for and to cheer for. Like, regardless of what happens with this season, they're just like, they're always at their best. 4 years ago, needed to win every game down the stretch, like 7 in a row. They do it. Take all the way to overtime in game 82. Last year, get off on the wrong foot against, or 2 years ago, get off on the wrong foot multiple times in the playoffs, rally back, and then, of course, last year, 3-1 deficits, and they come back. Now, 9-1 without Jamal Murray. It's absolutely insane.
I just did the math, and there's no way that's true.
There is no way it's true.
First off, Jamal Murray is, as we saw in the bubble, the reincarnation of Michael Jordan. Who else? Like Oscar Robertson. I mean, he's the greatest player that ever played somehow. During that bubble, he had sort of a slow start to the year, but he was really picking it up. When he went down, I mean, you saw, I almost quit.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to leave you guys.
Guys, this is going to be a total hype cast. Saturday night, you guys thought a Saturday night was going well. The weather here in Colorado is fantastic. Everybody's feeling good about things. It went even higher. We were on 10, and we went to 11.
Holy smokes.
We went all the way to 11. But first, of course, guys, we're presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Use promo code DNVR. I got Eric Weedham. I've also got Superstar Dev.
Hey, guys.
I knew it was going to be a good day when I got my thighs out. My thighs are out. Then I knew
I thought it was going to be a bad day when I saw your thighs out, if we're being honest.
No, I knew it. Me too.
You knew it.
I knew it. As soon as
when
I saw
walked in, I seen RK. He said, "Nice thighs, Dev." He like screams it out. I was like, "Oh yeah, it's about to be a day. It's going to be a day."
Yeah. I knew it was going to be a good day when I covered mine for all of your.
How are you guys feeling?
Immaculate. That is a good feeling. That was the most important win, and that was like the win. That was the signature moment for the Nuggets.
Nuggets move up to the 3 seed now, and it's funny, man. What's that? That's so funny. You know what? I mean, a playoff series, whatever. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to worry about it right now because, all we have to know, I was thinking about this as we watched the Nuggets get a 10-point lead, keep pouring it on, even down the stretch, coming up more and more clutch. I was thinking about, Denver, I believe, is in Utah's head. And even though Utah now, if they can get fully healthy before the playoffs, which at this point is kind of an if for Utah, but even if they can, they have to look at it and say, roster-wise, we should be better than Denver. But I don't want Denver because they're in our head. They have this. I wonder if there's something like that going on with the Clippers right now. I'll tell you what, I talked to Clippers fans, I talked to Clippers writers, and they feel that way, but that's not players. I wonder, losing on your own home court, almost fully healthy, Ibaka's still out, but almost fully healthy, if you have a little bit of a, I don't know, man, that there's something about that team that brings out the worst in all of us.
I'm telling you, this is now after the first game that they played in the season where the Clippers just absolutely mopped the floor with the Nuggets, and we were like, oh, okay, maybe the bubble was a fluke. Like, no, the Nuggets just have the Clippers number. Like, I don't fear them the way that I feel like I should, just looking at their roster on paper. Like when Kawhi Leonard and Paul George gerrymandered the league and forced their way to Los Angeles, I was like, all right. I mean, it's the same way I feel about the Nets this season, but It just felt like unfair. And it turns out like all they did was just burn their future down for a present that's going to take them nowhere. I love it.
Do you think that they're in their heads?
I definitely think that they're in their heads. And when you look at it, there are some teams that are trying to avoid the Clippers. The same way that like we're talking about the Nuggets should be avoiding the Lakers and most teams should avoid the Lakers. There's some teams that don't want to play the Clippers. I feel like the Nuggets welcome that. They're like, if they're there, we feel fine about that. And that's crazy because when you look on paper, the Clippers have it all. Like they really do have a complete team and they have superstars in this league, but you do not fear that with the Nuggets. You do not feel that at all.
What's the season series record?
2-1 against the Clippers. 2-1 Denver.
Yep.
Yeah, and Denver, by the way, takes over the 3 seed now. It's funny because the Lakers fall to the 6 seed. I mean, we talked about that pregame, whatever. There's still things are going to bounce around. Lakers might fall.
We're playing 8D chess at this point.
It's so many, so dimensional, so dimensional chess. But let's talk about Nikola Jokic, guys. Let's go right to the top. That third quarter, he just sunned them. I mean, he just sunned them. And it's funny because DeMarcus Cousins came in and I thought made an impact on this game, but that was a break glass in case of emergency decision.
Yeah.
They had a plan to come in. We're going to let Zubats go one-on-one. They had a plan, but if that doesn't work, we're going to double. None of those plans worked. So they ended up going to let's go to the DeMarcus Cousins, like, let's see if this makes it. And even then, it was like, they'll figure that out over time. But Jokic, I'm telling you, I put this out there, and it was spicy. I'm not sure if I fully believe it even, but I put it out anyway nonetheless. The Nuggets still have the best player in almost any series, including against the Los Angeles Clippers.
I mean, he's MVP.
What's spicy about that? He's the MVP of the league.
He's MVP.
That's your spice?
Look, man, Kawhi Leonard's only 2 years removed from winning a Finals MVP.
But he wasn't the MVP of the whole league.
Yeah.
The entire year.
Yeah.
That did it every single night. That's the difference
Tough
with
to
Jokic.
do it every night.
No one's ever done it like that. That has to be like a new record in itself. Not only are you the MVP, you played every single night.
Yep.
And did it in a different level. This was a nationally televised game
I know.
against a team that supposedly is like really, really good. Jokic said, I don't think so. You guys might think that. I don't.
I love when Dev gets dismissive. It's my favorite.
Because I just don't understand what others don't see. That's what it is.
That's so true. This is how I always put my Jokic experiences. I'm like, people thought I was crazy 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it was, but I'm like, I don't know, guys. I watch him, and he kicks everyone's ass. And people are like, you don't know it. You are just being a homer. If he was better, he would have been drafted higher, whatever. Now he's the MVP, and people are like, I don't know, man. I'm like, I'm sorry. I watched him beat the Clippers last year. Dominant Game 7 performance. Dominant all through the series, but dominant Game 7 performance. I watched him tonight missing his 3 best ball handlers, like pick and roll partners. Still gets it done in the clutch.
I feel like I'm crazy sometimes when I watch
too,
this
man.
guy playing.
I do too.
And no one else understands it. And then you go in and you see the professionals and these analysts that have the same ideas, like they're trying to dismiss him as the MVP. And it's like, what are you watching?
They're not. That's the point. That's the point. I mean, that truly, there's no other conclusion you can come to. Like, because when you watch him, you're like, oh my God. Like, I've never seen a basketball player move this way, play that way, be that accurate, be that in control of on the floor. What's that?
Blaze did. Blaze ordered nachos.
Anybody out there, nachos are here if you guys want to pick them up.
It's not as if you're only a homer making that decision. When we watch Steph Curry go wild,
yes,
we're in awe. We say, wow, Steph Curry is a great player.
Dude, I have no problem.
I even say this about Joel Embiid, and everybody gets mad at me, but I say it. Like, I see greatness in all these guys.
It's not that you're not seeing the greatness from other people because you're a homer. It's like they just have on.
They don't watch it.
They can't see. They have on blinders with the guy that has been doing it the best the entire season, and that's wild to me. That's why I get dismissive.
It's frustrating,
and it's so consistent. But tonight, I mean, and it's not just tonight. People have to know. You look at just the record, and you're like, oh, they lost everybody. They can't do this. And look, it's still going to be an uphill climb. We saw in the clutch Denver having to figure out what is our identity now, and that's going to remain a process for them as they close out the season. But the fact 9-1 now post Murray, tonight you win, you hold the Clippers, who had Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, to 104 points, and it wasn't like they had an off night shooting.
Dude.
They shot 41% from the 3-point line as a team. The Clippers made shots from behind the arc.
Yep.
They had their big guns on offense, and they still got held to 104 points against a team that everybody thought was bad defensively and couldn't get it done. We are not surprised by any of this, but it's just amazing the different ways that Denver is finding to be able to get these dubs.
You know what it is? It's just they're not reliant on like super transcendent performances from anybody but Jokic. But Jokic, like his transcendent performances aren't just like he needs to catch fire one night.
Right,
you know, it's like it just allows him to play the other team like a fiddle. Like they just, you know, the game starts off, we see this play out over and over and over. Like starts off slow, teams are doubling him. It seems like he's kind of frustrated. And then he just systematically dismantles them as the game goes on. He finds, you know, like he'll do 18, you know, pump fakes from behind the three at the beginning. We're like, is he ever actually going to shoot it? And then he starts to rain them down. Then he makes a few. Then Zubats runs at him. Then he just jukes him, runs in, just throws a thunderous dunk down. Same thing, goes down the lane. People all converge on him, and he just finds Facu way open in the corner, drains it. It's like it's repeatable because it's like not based on catching fire.
The skill level is undeniable.
Whoa, Gordon, dude.
The skill level, Gordon, hop in.
Dude, we got a bunch of super chats.
We got a bunch of super chats.
People are feeling it.
Super producer Kel, I know he's got a lock on it.
I'm not sure. Maybe somebody actually did order nachos in the chat.
Maybe somebody on the chat. Is that for nachos? Or is that, I could use some nachos if you guys want to.
Do you want to catch up on some super chats?
Yeah.
Let me catch up on him a little bit later. I want to keep this rolling, and I want to keep this going on Jokic here because I just think it's important. But, the different ways, the skill level's undeniable. The different ways he could beat you, to your point, the pick your poison. Oh, all of a sudden we're going to double. That blind pass he threw to Facu, it wasn't blind. He just reads it. Like, whatever you're going to do, he's going to read it. But here's the thing that I think goes most underappreciated, and it actually should factor in the MVP vote, and it's why the games played do matter, and it's why all of these intangible things do matter. The Nuggets culture is incredible.
It's so good.
The Nuggets culture is incredible. These guys are fighting for each other. This is why everybody says they have a next man up mentality, right? Every team, but the truth is they don't. A lot of teams lose a guy and it's over, and it's like, all right, we're sunk.
You saw when what is his name? Gilbert Arenas was recorded like openly taunting his teammates, wanting them to fail because he wanted to be the next man up.
That's an extreme example on the other.
I'm just saying, like that's an NBA.
But
culture.
when people ask like how are the Nuggets still doing? Is it just Jokic carrying them? And my honest answer is no. He's great, and anybody you put alongside him is going to be 20% better than what they actually are. But he alone can't beat the Clippers. The culture you build creates an opportunity for a Shaq Harrison who's been around the league to find a home, for PJ Dozier, who's been around the league, to find a home, for Facundo Campazzo to come in and not be great early on, to find a home and to work out. And these guys, and to me,
dude, Facu is that casa.
You do factor those things in my opinion, into the team dynamic. Everybody talked about Jordan and how he pushed teammates with his bullying, right? Like he was so tough, but that's a credit to him.
Yeah.
It's a credit to Jokic.
I wonder if in this game, and also that point brings me to the fact of when Jokic wins this MVP, is that like going to be a transcendent trend going throughout the league? Because usually whenever something happens, you try to adapt to that to try to build it around. When you look at that Clippers team, they have the superstar in Kawhi. They have a really all-star in Paul George, and they're still not able to figure it out against a guy like this. But when you look at a guy like this in Jokic, he's doing it with less, but it's because he is a selfless leader. He's getting everyone involved, and then he has his moments. So I wonder if the league is going to try to adjust to that, where they're surrounding their superstars with, first off, just passing it and getting everyone else involved. Then just like putting everything above themselves. And then also guys that enjoy playing around him. I feel like all of those guys would run through a wall for Jokic. I really do. And he's not a leader in the same way as the Michael Jordans.
Not at all.
And all of these other type of guys. Like at all.
Not even remotely close.
We listened to Austin Rivers, and that was like a look on the other side of Jokic is not going to just set up the time where I'm going to go shoot on the main court. He's like, okay, I'm out here. Other people are working. I'm okay with that. Let me go shoot over here. That's different than anybody else in the league, especially a superstar, and that's what Jokic is.
I was tickled so deeply when Sixers Twitter was making fun of Jokic being like not campaigning for himself as the MVP, and they were saying like, why is that good? And they would like just fundamentally could not understand humility as an asset, like as a
Philadelphia, of course not. Yeah,
they just like fundamentally could not understand, and there's just something so beautiful and so it's just like you want to rally behind this guy because it like not only is he an amazing basketball player, like he's an amazing human being.
He's your top human,
dude. He's my number one human, and I have parents, I have friends, I'm sure
you have coworkers that we thought would maybe be top.
Like, I've met a lot of people, and like, all right, Dev's. You know what? It's still Jokic, dude. What
the? I thought we had a moment.
We did have a moment. I got everything I needed out of that moment.
I understand it.
But we talk a lot about like the leadership. Like this is one area where he could really grow, and I do think there's truth to this. Like Jokic has been steadily improving his leadership over the years. But I think a part of leadership that gets overlooked is the culture that you built. Whether you're actually given the win one for the Gipper speech or whether you're actually pushing guys in practice, whatever, if you built a culture where, as Austin Rivers so eloquently put it the other night in his postgame, where he said you could come in and be shooting on the court on the hoop, and he would go to the little side hoop and just get his whole workout in on the side hoop, which I know some people are like, does that not happen all the time? No. People don't understand that there is a real class system. I might even call it a caste system that happens on NBA teams where it's like LeBron's here. He gets his seat on the plane. He also gets his friend also gets the second seat on the plane, and then the second star, Kyrie, now he gets his seat. And by the time you get down to Verjao, it's like, hey, bro, you're gonna have to be in the you're in cargo.
We got you a bus ticket.
Yeah, we got you a bus ticket. And so
see you in Milwaukee.
So a story about Jokic coming in and maybe seeing Austin Rivers working out and be like, don't worry, bro, I'll go shoot on the little hoop over here. That is so rare, and it's such a great. The reason I liked it was such a great micro example of a larger thing.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
not a little thing. That's
course.
a little thing that's indicative of the whole.
Well, and that is not coming from us who are just infatuated.
I would
with all
say this
things
about him
Jokic.
if it wasn't true.
Yeah, but the fact that it came from Austin Rivers, who has now
Right.
played for multiple teams and has played with multiple MVPs and has himself dealt with ego issues and has seen. I mean, he saw all these Clippers, the wide gamut of just NBA personalities, and for him to understand coming in right off the bat, to call out that micro moment and just everything snaps into focus for a guy like that. Oh wow, basketball can actually be a thing that we are playing for one another rather than the top guys just needing to get their numbers and their shots off and everybody else can sort of eat around the edges. It's special, and and now the results we're seeing the dividends.
Do you know why I love that Austin Rivers interview the most? Is because he was very vulnerable and honest.
Totally.
He was, dude.
About a thing that actually could have came back and hurt him. His dad was the coach on most of his teams.
Yeah.
It's so
That's
true.
like being in a middle school or a high school and saying, this school sucks, I hate how it's ran, and
your dad's
mom
the
is the
principal.
principal. It just does not make sense. But he was really honest, with everyone. It's different here. They're run the right way. Everything is different about this situation, and I enjoy being here. And I've played for my dad. That's just crazy to me.
Dude, well, just him saying that it feels like a family here. We laughed about that heartily. It feels like a family here when he literally played for his father. He literally
played
paid for his actual family, and it didn't feel like a family then.
But I'm just this is the thing about Jokic that makes me so confident going forward for the Nuggets. And as long as he's in Denver, which we hope is for the entirety of his career, and I kind of expect it to be honest, but knock on wood.
Jokic.
Don't ever leave us. Don't ever leave us.
Career
Too fragile.
drags he's here for 20 years.
20 years, man. I would take 7 bad years where he was way too old, and we're like, you know what? We gave him another max. We just we're whatever.
What are we supposed to do? He's the top
He's
human.
the top human. We're gonna keep it. He can't even walk
You
anymore.
don't trade the top human, dude.
But this is why I'm so confident is that culture isn't going anywhere.
Nope. He is
And
the culture, dude.
He is the culture, and that's what I'm
He's
saying.
not a
And again,
culture
I'm
man.
not trying
He's
to
the
just
culture,
credit
man.
him, but it's an all-encompassing thing that. And you even talk about chemistry. I always go back to that 2014 Spurs team, and they were great in 2012. They get beat. They were great in 2011, actually. They get beat by a very hot Kevin Durant in the conference semis or conference finals. They were great in 2012. 2013, they should have won one, get this close. 2014, the chemistry was so unmatched. And I feel like the Nuggets are kind of in that zone where they've been together now so long, and that culture has it concretized so much over the time that they've really become this group, and it's just not going anywhere. Jokic, top human.
He's the top human. Well, it's funny you say the team has been together for so long. It's kind of. There's 5 new players that have just been brought in, I mean, I'm just saying the core of what it is, but the core is Nikola Jokic.
But the culture has been there
because it is Nikola Jokic he is the alpha, he is the omega, he is the culture, he's my friend, and will soon be my roommate.
His roots in this organization are just so deep that the new pieces can now come and they gain nutrients from his roots.
When you have a terrible
Getting a little weird
franchise, the first thing they do is they say that you have no identity, and that's always the case. It's we don't know what shot is the right shot in the right moment, and this team has the most concretized.
No. I know the right shot for this exact moment.
What's that, Rudo?
It might be some Uber, it might be some
Rudo is taunting us with alcohol.
All right,
off
speaking-
seat.
well,
He's
we
right
do
to
have
do
some
it.
super
Speaking of-
chats. Let's get to some super chat. Do you have the headset on? Hell yeah.
Speaking of the MVP, do we want to hit King of the Game real quick?
King it up,
King of the
boy.
game. We also have a new King of the Game feature here that I can't wait to show you. But look at this.
boy.
30 points,
King of the
14
game, dude.
rebounds we didn't even talk about. And there was a rebound, by the way, in that fourth quarter that he came across the lane.
Yeah, I
you know the one
exactly
I'm
what
talking
you're
about.
talking about.
And it was
with
a
2
big
guys
possession.
on him too, and grabbed it and pushed it out.
He just knows when he's needed and where he's needed.
Should we
30,
change-
14, and 7.
At what point do we change this to King of the World?
It's really true. King of the globe. All right,
when
do we
Jokic
have? Can
wins
you
it.
show them the new king of the game? Do you have it all queued up?
I don't. Oh.
We have a permanent king of the game that we are.
I have never seen. I don't know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
boy.
What do you mean? I thought you had it. I saw it on the screen earlier.
Well, this
You lost the little crown. Oh, I'm so sad. Oh,
We'll
this
figure
is-
it out later.
All right, can we read
This
the?
is nothing short of anticlimactic.
Let's read some of
All
these
right,
super
super
chats. I
chats.
know we're getting a lot of cool ones.
From Chris Picaro, cheers to MVP, MPJ, and the most fun team in the league. Good vibes, the funk, and Dev's thighs.
Oh man, all of it. Dev's thighs just
That's what I'm
completed the
talking
parlay.
about.
I
That's
hate-
what I'm talking about.
It bothers me that your thigh is rightfully getting the love that it deserves. I just know my thigh would get no love.
We get no love at all.
There's ankles around here. There's thighs.
No, my
You just
ankles-
got to find the body part
It's
they really
time for
want.
you to
well,
pick a body
I'm
part.
sort of in like a. I mean, I'm sort of like.
Maybe it's nipples.
Oh,
This
Probably
is
not.
let me
this
know,
is
Chad. You
from
guys into nipples out there?
They're like, no, it's not nipples.
This is from our
Gordon.
boy Gordon. Hey Clippers, that wasn't a collapse on your part. That was in A star whipping on our part. Keep that L in LA.
Let's
Oh, I
go,
love
Gordon.
it. Take that L on
Take
the way
that
out,
L
baby.
On the way out.
What else we got?
1099 pounds from I don't know how to pronounce your name, but
Oh
thank
wait,
you
I
very
can read
much.
it here. Hold on a second. I can't see that far though. That's my problem.
So then you can't read it.
last name is Pantosh. I can't see it.
Look.
I can't read it.
Look, this is
Nemanja Pantosh, I believe.
Was that worse than everybody?
Pental or Pentai.
What?
That's pretty close.
Quick shout
Nemanja was
out,
Nemanja. I got Nemanja right.
quick shout out to Ben Marsh, who has been lurking the entire season, but has stayed in the background.
Hell
First
yeah,
time
Ben.
commenting with a super chat. Thank you so
yo.
much, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
Dude, Ben, that's why I love to see that, man. I love it. Welcome to the
All
family,
the lurkers,
man.
come
Yeah.
to the bar. Why lurk when we can be high fiving?
What else we got? Any other ones?
From Ryan Kelly, Joker is amazing. In the last 20 years, can you name a center who's carried a team like this? There's 2 super chats like this, pretty
It's
much.
interesting because, you know, Akeem is the one that Tim Duncan, and I know Tim Duncan was only a part-time center, but like he's a guy that to
But
me
a
kind of
full-time
had
lover,
that.
yeah.
You know, past that Akeem, because you think about Shaq. Shaq had Penny, Shaq had Wade, Shaq had Kobe. Like Shaq had guys always. And Shaq, as dominant as he was more dominant than Jokic in many ways. Obviously, Hall of Famer, top 10 player all time, in my opinion. But he was more of a like. It wasn't like a doing all type of stuff the
Right.
way that Jokic does.
Right.
That's why Jokic is so unique. I'm not trying. I don't like that shouldn't be a measure of value. Some guys are just great at scoring, and that's like good enough. But so I'm not saying this as a comparing them.
But the fact that Jokic is ball dominant, starts off every possession at the top of the key, may go post up, may go float out. Like Hakeem was a post up player. Like he required somebody else to get him to the ball. Like that's the difference. Is that
But
Jokic,
the era was a little different too.
Totally, but that's not dismissing Hakeem
Yeah.
Olajuwon. It's just like the level to which Jokic is involved in everything that the Nuggets do on offense is unprecedented, I think.
Jokic reminds me more of an Hakeem, than a lot of guys. But
One last super chat.
okay.
Obviously, keeping both would be amazing, but if you had to pick between MPJ or Murray, who would it be right now?
Why are you
Not
doing
yet.
that? Why are you giving us a Sophie's choice?
Right now, I would take MPJ because Murray's hurt. Murray's injured.
Yeah, that's a great point. I would take the guy
That's a
that's
good
not
one.
on
I like
crutches.
that
Like,
answer, actually.
Murray would be pretty good, but he's only got the one leg, so I
Yeah.
gotta go with MPJ.
It's kind of
on
hard
this
in the
one.
league. They're fast, man. They're fast.
Hey,
They're
man.
pretty fast in that league.
You want to ask which one of my children I would, I would
Yeah,
say?
that's
we can do
tough.
that, too.
I know which one you like
Choice.
more.
Get
but
outta
that's
here.
crazy. Hold on, did we shout out Gordon?
Let's take.
No, no.
We shouted
Gordon's
out
here.
Gordon.
Gordon's our man,
Let's
dude.
take a quick break here, guys, and we're gonna get back on track on the other side. But first, got to tell you about Manscaped.
Let's go.
You guys manscaping out there?
Woo, it's
I know
hot,
that
dude.
you are.
You see these thighs
Yeah,
out?
check out those
Hey,
thighs.
Rudo, do you want to come manscape? Want to come to the Manscaped? You can do a guest read here. Please, come on. You guys don't know. Rudo
Rudo.
He is both our one of our. Oh, then never. But then maybe
Never mind.
then he can't do it. All right, guys. Manscaped, you guys know about it. They've got the Lawnmower 3.0, great for your nether regions.
Yeah, the nethers.
The below the waist men's grooming, but they're not just that, guys. We like to laugh and have a good time. They got nose trimmers, they've got boxers, they've got lotions, they've got oils, they've got so many different things.
They've got
They've got a full toolkit. So if you're looking around, yeah, definitely keep them separate. Don't confuse the nose trimmer and the ball trimmer. That would be yeah. Well, that's funny.
That's a different story, man.
So You guys check everything they got. And right now, manscaped.com, you can use promo code DNVR. You get 20% off. You also
Not
get
a
free
bad deal.
shipping. It's a fantastic deal. Buy it for yourself or for the friend in your life who you feel
Whose
needs
thighs
to trim.
maybe aren't what they should be.
Look at these thighs.
Dev on the one hand, like if you know someone that is living a sub Dev thigh life, get him Manscaped. Get him right up there.
Also going to tell you about Gabby
I see
Insurance.
what we're doing here.
Gabby Insurance. What does it stand for? Get a better insurance. This is what's cool. We're not even selling you guys on any specific thing. We're selling you on go to Gabby.
Information.
Yeah, we're just selling you on Gabby, GABI.com/DNVR. Ask you a few basic questions about your policy, how much you paying for your car insurance, how much you paying for your home insurance, well, that kind of stuff. And then they'll just tell you, this is what you save. And guess what? It doesn't matter if you have Nationwide, Travelers, Progressive. Gabby's probably, I'm not going to guarantee it, probably going to beat it and probably buy quite a bit.
Yeah, I know that you're looking at me because I myself found that I was paying quite a bit too much money for my insurance. But you know what? Gabby wasn't pushy about it. They didn't make me feel bad. All of you made me feel bad about it later. But Gabby was my homie. Just let me know. Give me the facts. Straight facts, homie.
There's no obligation when you go there. Again, Gabby, GABI.com/DNVR. We got to talk about Michael Porter tonight because, again, he's quickly become the second, leg of this team. And tonight he had some bangers, man. We bet the 2.5 3-pointers. Comfortably won that one. Got 4 3-pointers. Thanks, Deb. Oh, wait, was that you? Was that you?
Yes, that was
I'd
me.
take that back. Over
You
here.
actually eschewed my bet. My lock. You went to Dev.
No, hold on. I just gave you your credit. Don't. No.
What a bad friend you are, because he
Wait,
did.
wait.
He totally just could have taken credit for that, but he didn't.
Well, I was meaning to shame you. Dev was just catching strays. I'm sorry. Dev.
I have tragic news for you, gentlemen.
Oh, no.
It is a Saturday night, and the first shots have been bought.
Oh,
Oso
hell yeah.
Blanco.
I'm ready for it, man.
Oso Blanco.
Oso Blanco. I'm so excited for some rakia. Hey, get the good rakia, the Genelec, I think it's called.
Also, which one's the good
The
racket?
good one is the one over there. It's
Okay.
actually pretty
Yeah.
fantastic. While they're queuing those up for us, though, guys, let's get to Michael Porter. He goes 10 of 16 tonight. We talked coming into this game, he's going to get locked up. They're going to put guys on him that are going to really test him. It wasn't easy. He gets 25 points, and he had to work for him. But if you look at the box score, 10 of 16, 4 of 7 from the three-point line.
He's on
I'm going to
dude.
go ahead and declare something.
Oh boy.
I'm going to declare something that I think is very important.
Oh, boy.
and it even goes back a little bit to what Austin Rivers said about Michael Porter in particular. I think Michael Porter is built for this. And I think this is the one
He's
thing.
about that.
Well, I think it's the one thing people don't know when they talk about Michael Porter, because he's a pretty boy. Let's be honest. He's a pretty boy. He's kind of got skinny legs. He's kind of skinny. And I think that people naturally
He
will
is
think
a
it
pretty
means you're
boy.
soft or this or that, or
Yeah.
right? And I think that he is actually made for adversity the way so many of the Nuggets are. And I think that it's because he wants to truly be great.
And
Goes
he-
up and gets tested tonight. He passed.
He proved it tonight. Because one thing that we talked about heading into this game was the physicality from
Yep.
this Clippers
Yep.
team. They were bumping him on screens. They were blowing up when he was trying to make a screen. Like they made sure that they felt him every single time. And he doesn't curl up. He doesn't shy away from it. He demands the ball. He still takes his shots. He's still very, very active in the game. And also, DraftKings gave us a gimme. They said, hey, we're going to put his stuff down. We already know he's a bucket. He's
We know
going to
he's
hit
a
his
bucket.
shots.
We've been knowing
give
he's
it
a
to him.
bucket.
So
Been knowing.
Eric tells us to take the threes. He goes and hits 4 threes on the night. But not
Unbelievable.
only does he hit 4 threes,
Gets his
he's
points.
active on the boards.
Oh,
He's a
son of a
bucket
bitch.
waiting to happen. And he overcame everything that they had.
Really poured it right up to the line.
Yeah,
didn't you?
this is a Saturday night shot I see.
these are Rudo
Do you
shots?
agree with me, though, about Michael Porter
I
being
do.
a guy that the overcoming adversity part is slept on with him?
I believe that Michael Porter Jr. is actually very mentally tough. Like, I think that Michael Porter Jr. has been through a lot in his life. Like,
Yes.
he has been, because, he was built for this in that he is, like, divinely gifted in what he's able to do. But he's gone through, like, injuries. He's gone through doubt, falling in the draft. And even when things aren't going well on the court, like, you don't generally see him hanging his head. You don't generally see him getting too high or too low. He has like that perfect temperament,
Yes.
which I agree is very surprising. Like, I absolutely expected him to be more of, like that, mama mentality school where he's.
But even just like wide
jawing
receivers
and
are
stuff.
always cocky, right? And he seems like he's a scorer are
Right.
always cocky.
Like,
They're always
You would expect him to be a diva, and he's not.
a diva, exactly. But I think that even when you go back and watch him in all these camps back his sophomore year, his junior year, he's an incredibly focused person. And I think that it wasn't because of the injury, it wasn't because of going to a team where he's had to really earn it that has made him into this. I think he was that. Those things just solidified it. Like, he was able to overcome those challenges. 2 back surgeries, having to come to a team that didn't play him for, like, we all thought his first year, they're like, oh, is he gonna start on opening night? And then he didn't even play till January. He's gone through all that and handled it. And I'm telling you, I think he's tough.
Yeah, and also just the management of him in the league, just in general. Like, there are a lot of players that would just be frustrated and broken, and they would sulk, and they would
honestly most.
Yeah, like like
look at Marvin Bagley right now.
But imagine if Michael Malone gave the Michael Porter Jr. treatment to, say, I don't know, Boogie Cousins.
Right.
How would that have gone?
Not well. Not well.
Hey, guys, we're going to have to run around and do another shot right away.
So we better hurry up.
Yeah.
All righty, well.
There's nothing quite like when the winner's lounge becomes punitive.
Oh, you guys want to talk about basketball, eh?
No, we appreciate all the super chat. We appreciate all of our fun. Tonight, man, it's all love.
Nuggets Nation.
It's all love.
Nuggets Nation.
Oh, man, I spilled a little.
Clink,
Little party
clink.
foul.
Guys.
I guess we didn't have to do this, did we?
To the Denver
Gively.
Nuggets, to the top human of all time, to the Colorado Avalanche, I say to you, Gively.
Gively.
It's so good.
I actually tasted that one. Because I wanted to taste it.
All right, Rudo, go.
That was great.
Rudo's gone. I'll
Thank
go
you
give
for
him
the
refills.
Chat.
No, I need some time.
Dude, he needs.
Yeah, we need a little bit. We need a little
All right.
distance.
Yeah, we need a. We're not going to talk for 5 minutes.
Other super chat
Well-
that came in while you guys were talking.
Got chills?
MPJ
The
over Paul
multiplying.
George. How hot of a take is that?
Very hot, too hot, but it's okay. Here's one thing I will say, though, about that, and I actually wanted to talk about this. Does this game, Dev, give you more confidence in Michael Porter's ability to handle a playoff series? Because unlike last year, he's going to be the second name on the whiteboard, on the game plan. Does this game give you more confidence that he can handle that?
Absolutely, because he came in and did exactly what was expected of him. He did not shy away from anything defensively. He knocked down his shots. He was aggressive in getting it. And also, he showed something new. He showed the ability to read what was happening that the Clippers was giving him, and also make extra passes. He has 5 assists tonight.
That's right.
And that was not by design. That was by the Clippers blitzing him and trying to give him different looks, and he gets the ball out of his hands and makes the smart read. So I feel very confident in Michael Porter Jr. going into a playoff series.
The man has arrived. Like, he's arrived. It's no longer a question. Like, he is in a position where the team desperately needs him, and he's stepping in without any issue at all. He's not forcing it. He's not pressing. He's shooting it at like a disgustingly high clip. He's playing defense. He's just blooming right before our very little eyes. And it is interesting. I mean, I don't know that this would have happened had Jamal Murray been here. And so it's like this. It's this very strange, awkward silver lining where Jamal Murray is the second best player on the Denver Nuggets. But, like, I don't know. Is Jamal Murray the second best player on the Denver Nuggets? Michael Porter Jr.'s ceiling, to me, is just, like, rising and rising and rising. I don't know where it's at.
We invited
AJ.
you on the show, man.
AJ.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
By the time Jamal Murray comes back, is he still the second best?
Yeah,
Man,
AJ wonders, by the time that Jamal Murray comes back, is he still the second best player in the Nuggets? I don't know, dude. I have no idea. The dynamic of this team has changed entirely, but it's changed 4 times already this year. So I don't know if it just switches back or they're just seeing what they have in Michael Porter Jr. The one thing that's
I think it'll be Spurs-like. Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. Some series, sometimes one or the other. Even over Tim Duncan. Like,
so
Jamal
true.
Murray was better than Jokic in that Jazz series, at least, more valuable or
Jamal
whatever.
Curry and MP Clay, baby. Let's go.
So I think you could have it. But I don't know. I don't like those questions because those are the questions that create almost fracture.
What's with these goddamn questions? Why don't you give one to Adam Lux?
I will say this. It's the more stars you have, the more difficult it is to get the blending of all
sure.
of that, because the truth is Jokic will have to sacrifice, Porter will have to sacrifice, Murray will have to sacrifice. All of them will have to be a little less than their potential in order for the team to be its potential.
Is there like a Serbian Gatorade they could send us for winners? There's got to be something new that we can try.
You guys know it's Serbian
It's
Easter?
Serbian Easter, yeah.
Christos. It's not Serrati. That's like the other one. I don't know what the new one is. It's like there's a different one for Easter. I'll have to have
if you're looking at me to
I
help
was
you
looking
along,
at you, and I don't know why I was doing that.
Yeah,
There's another
everybody.
one.
But I feel like with the Rakia shots, like everyone has a plan until they take the first Rakia shot.
That's how you get punched.
Oh my god! And you really do get punched. That is.
Yeah, man. Do you feel? I take it you feel a lot more confident in MPJ's ability to have a great playoff run.
Tell me what I don't have any doubts in MPJ. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not nervous. Like this, coming into this, we were talking about like this. To me, was the first real measuring stick game to see like what this version of the Nuggets actually is. Like, can it compete with the top teams in the West? Can it compete with the top teams in the league? Because we were beating teams that didn't necessarily want to win. We were beating lesser teams like Memphis, and so those feel good. But we didn't quite know what it would look like. And like, if tonight is any indication, like I mean, how you could be nervous about anybody, like to me that's a stretch.
Do you want to know why I'm so like confident about Michael Porter Jr. in the
Because
playoffs?
of that Rakia shot?
Absolutely not. It's the fact that he's not the top player or the best player. So they can't send like many double teams his way.
So true.
If you send a double team his way, that means that Jokic has single coverage, and you already know what he's going to do to you. Like Michael Porter Jr. gets to go into every game with the same idea of what he really wants to do right now. Score the basketball. That's all you have to do is go out there, play regular basketball, and go be a bucket.
Yeah,
That's easy for him.
Play regular, unbelievably
good
elite
basketball. Like that corner three was like, that's not regular basketball. That's super
For him,
basketball.
that's regular basketball.
It is regular for him. It is regular. Aaron Gordon tonight, we need to give him a shout out because I know he didn't hit a bet for you, Dev, and I know that was your lock of all time. Just let that linger for a second. But I actually, and the other thing that's funny is he was a team worst minus 11. But I actually think he deserves an enormous amount of credit tonight. And not just him, but Kawhi Leonard tonight goes 7 of 12 for 16 points. 7 of 12 tells me he made shots. The 12 is more loud than the 7.
So
he
true.
only took 12 shots. They needed points.
I mean,
they didn't score tonight.
To be fair to him, it was his first game back. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get back in that role.
No doubt.
Aaron Gordon did exactly what we asked of him, like in the pregame. Like he stepped up. AJ, please.
Why is everybody in such a hurry to constantly make excuses for Kawhi Leonard?
Why is everybody in a hurry to make excuses for Kawhi Leonard?
AJ, join the chat, man.
Just
Come on,
get in here.
get spicy with it. How Cal can hook up a mic, man? His spice is too good. Paul George tonight, 5 of 21. So same thing. In fact, if you want to know my one big takeaway strategically from this game, the Nuggets were very aggressive, and maybe it's inevitable that when you're this aggressive defensively, you're going to have some fouls. But when they didn't foul, Clippers couldn't score. And this was a good Clippers offense. And the Clippers kept getting bailed out of really ugly possessions by Denver just being a little too aggressive, a little too over-aggressive. And to me, that's an important thing. Aaron Gordon deserves credit for it, but so does Shaq Harrison, so does PJ Dozier, so does Facu Campazzo. But just sticking on Gordon, does he pass for you tonight?
He absolutely let me down. But he definitely passes.
Yeah.
You want to know why he passes? It's not the fact that that he's like the lockdown defender, as a primary defender. Putting him in the lineup allows the other team to know we can't just attack that person like the entire time.
No.
When Kawhi Leonard had other guys on him from last year and times before that, it was like, let's give that guy the ball every time because we know that he doesn't have the size, or we know he doesn't have the physicality, we know he doesn't have this. Aaron Gordon doesn't lack that, so you're like, okay, now we have to play against the Nuggets in a different way. Now we know we can't just go into the post and have him shoot his shot every single time. You didn't see the Kawhi shots that you're typically seeing, and it's because he has a guy that can match up with him, like with height, with physicality, with just these other things, and that's what Aaron Gordon brings. He brings a challenge for the other team because he's an assignment that you have to prepare for.
It's so true. Chat, very excited to see AJ.
Guys, if you don't know, I know some people do, some people don't. AJ Hafley, our Avs expert, but
Our
he's
Avs
also our
guru.
all sports expert,
Yeah, dude,
to be honest.
he's our Avs Adam.
So you have some heat you want to spit.
Well, I mean, I was just asking.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
No, so I'm charging my laptop so I can start writing my Avs post-game stuff because PS they won and they're super dope.
They are super dope.
But my question was why is everybody so quick to make excuses for Kawhi Leonard and like a constant stream of mediocrity? Like, is it just because?
Well, he was
he had the end, like he had the Finals MVP.
Can I take this one?
He was so good in San Antonio, and he was so good in Toronto. But since that MVP,
God damn
he's
it.
like decided he's the guy, right?
Yeah.
And he went out and he like personally recruited a Robin to his Batman.
Right.
Oh, my-
And so far they both have been like bad Robins. like,
Well, they are now one game behind Denver, so they've been okay.
like why is everybody so quick to anoint this guy and like make excuses when
love it, yeah.
like he goes 7 of 12 and it's like, oh well, he traditionally comes back slow and like why?
Wait, I just realized that's what I said. You
These
put
are-
that.
These
Why
are
are
like,
you making
I'm legitimately like I'm just curious.
Can I say one thing? I want to.
Yeah, no,
I want
totally.
to
I'm
answer this.
asking. I'm genuinely.
Well,
just
I'm actually going to take your side on this because one thing that I think got overlooked with Kawhi, and it's why I hope the Clippers fail spectacularly once again. But here's why. San Antonio has an incredible culture. We just talked about the importance of the culture that Jokic and the Nuggets have built. San Antonio has been known for that for 20 plus years. You go to Toronto, incredible culture. From the top down in that organization.
Such rotten
incredible
culture there. Such rotten
Then you
culture.
go to the Clippers. You force your way to the Clippers because it's LeBron did it. This is the new way. We just team up with our stars. The other stuff doesn't matter. None of the stuff matter. All that matters is we got our good players. We can't be beat. And the thing that they were missing last year was the culture. And this year, I don't know. TBD if they've improved the culture.
Well, they probably improved the culture. They added Boogie Cousins and Rajon Rondo, so that's probably going to elevate the.
But I do think that they had to have learned some lessons from last year and how it went because that was a very dysfunctional locker room. But I think that this is the thing. Like Kawhi Leonard's great, and it's possible that a thing clicks with Kawhi Leonard and he ends up having a second sort of prime and run or whatever. But this is why I'm so bothered by Brooklyn. I'm so bothered by the way we talk about basketball. The national media talks about it is we've completely discounted the part of team sports that are actually the most compelling, and that is the personal sacrifice for each other, the teamwork, the camaraderie, and all those things. Like it doesn't matter. Harden, Kyrie, KD, we don't even have to play together all regular season. We'll just meet up in the playoffs and we'll do it because culture doesn't. No, that's why I hope it fails.
Yeah. And so my question kind of piggybacks off of this because it's like since Kawhi decided to be the man. There is no playing for each other. There is no. It's all mercenary basketball. It's all like.
Yep.
Like I'm trying to prove that I'm the best of this generation or whatever.
Right.
But
you know another
in the NBA, like the GOAT conversation changes based on
so
what
much,
happens
yeah.
in the postseason every single round.
Right,
You know,
right,
like
right,
oh
totally.
this happens or that happens, and now you have to move this guy up on the list because he beat this guy in this round, and like what is Kawhi trying to prove to everybody right now that he hasn't already proven in his career?
I saw this
Is it
though.
that he's like the man,
I
and
saw
then
this-
everybody leaps to his defense to be like, oh, here's this guy is being super mediocre.
Well,
like,
the heat will come for him this year if they don't win.
they don't win it. Like, is he actually gonna come under fire once in his career?
He will. If it doesn't, if
Like
this year,
that dude like whined his way, like fake injuried his way out of San
Yeah,
Antonio,
he really
which
did.
is like the ultimate basketball
Yeah.
culture, and got away with it because he won a Finals MVP in Toronto.
I saw somebody the other day said, "Who would you rather lead a team, Luka Doncic or Anthony Davis?" And I thought, like, Anthony Davis did lead a team. It didn't go well,
into
and
the
it's
side of
not
the mountain,
because
yeah.
he's a great player. It's because he didn't, in my opinion,
He doesn't have
did not
leadership
accept the
traits.
responsibility of, hey, you're responsible for the culture. You're responsible for all of it. And Luka, by the way, probably has some hard lessons to learn there too. Like, I mean, this all young players have to learn it. But I think that's part of what you're getting at here is you're responsible for when your others don't perform well. Just like Jokic is responsible when all the others do, no matter who those others are. And I want to keep it moving here. We've got Campazzo also to talk about. Tonight he had 10 points. They were all huge.
Big.
I'm telling you, if there is one thing, like Facu, what is he most known for? At first we thought it was passing, then we thought maybe it was defense. I actually think there's one thing he's known for above all of that.
Being clutch, dude.
Being clutch. And he's
be
got his
toughness?
flaws. There's things that make me nervous about him, but you know what? If you have to go to the foxhole, I hope he's in
foxhole?
Oh, yes.
It sounds weird though when you say it
yes.
that
No,
way. It sounds
no,
like
it
something
doesn't.
completely else.
You got
If
something
you have to
there.
go to the foxhole, man, I want Facu in there.
I'm definitely going to the Faco. I need to be there. This guy is a young vet. He really is. Like, he's been here before. He understands that no moment is too big, and he's different from everyone else because he doesn't care who the other guys is. He doesn't. He's just in there to, like, make the moment happen.
Is that Rakia?
Wait, are we that far behind on Super Chats? Like,
That's rock, yeah.
But Facu
Gotta go, fellas.
Facu comes in, he hits 10 big points. Every single one of them changed
Free
the
throws,
outcome of the game. Everyone.
Did you have any doubt about that 3-pointer?
No.
Honest
dude.
question. Did you have any doubt?
I did not.
No. Well, first off,
On any other 3-pointer, I had a lot of doubt. That one I had none.
The pass was perfect.
Yeah, it was.
There was no one around him for. He probably uses the metric system, so for meters and meters,
Several meters.
Yeah. So when he went up for it, I was like, of course. But earlier in the game, I would have been like, no chance.
That's what I'm saying. In that moment, like, there's few players I wanted to have the ball more than him at that, and I just love it. I don't know, we'll see how long it continues like this. I think forever. I just think he's good. Do you buy this as, do you buy the idea of some players just have it?
No.
All right.
I am anti-clutch.
I am. You know what's funny is I am too, because I understand the statistical argument for it. I've read the papers. I've been to Sloan. I've done all this stuff, but at the same time, like, there are guys that just seem to always deliver. Jokic is one of them.
Yeah, and Facu, like, frankly,
I think those guys thrive all the time, though. Like, like you look at we artificially make those moments bigger.
it's possible.
Like we assign the designation of a clutch moment. We give that meaning. But that moment doesn't have extra meaning inherently. We decide it has meaning.
But when they
depends
perform,
when the game's on the line.
But when they
Jokic,
perform well
right.
in that time that we have designated,
Here's my argument though. I think that
That's why
a
it's
person's
arbitrary.
I think a person's confidence can come from a lot of different places, but when it comes from a good place, a place of sacrifice and hard work and all of those different things, it's more difficult to shake. And that's why everybody talking about. I'm not trying to rag on the guy because I think he gets unfair amount of criticism. But when Paul George is shooting 50% in the regular season, everyone's talking about this. I'm like, does his confidence come from the right place? Because it will be tested in a playoffs, whether it's against Denver or somebody else. It will get tested, and if that confidence is superficial in any way, it's going to be exposed. And I don't think Facu's is. Like, I think he's put in the work. I think he's done everything that he can to be there.
I mean, one thing that you can point to is that he was the player of the decade. And
well, if you're Facu, what do you have to not be confident about?
Yeah.
Everything that you've done in your life has built you to this moment.
well, for Facu specifically,
You're a 30-year-old rookie. You have nothing to lose. All you have to do is go in, continue to be whom you have been comfortable being over the last decade of your life.
it's
There's
true.
no identity crisis.
Well, he's come to that though. He's come to that though. Like early in the season, he was like questioning whether or not he belonged. People were questioning whether or not he belonged in the NBA, and he's got to the point where he's like, "All right, I'm fucking Facu, Dad." It's like,
You
I'm
think
not going
that's
to
where
mess
he's
around.
at?
Absolutely.
He definitely gets better
He's
every
playing
single
with
game.
swag.
And it's pretty
All right,
cool.
are we going to drink again?
I enjoy rooting for Facu, guys. Whatever the outcome is, it's like sometimes you just want to enjoy the guys that you are forced to cheer for because they're on your team. You want to like those guys, and I like him.
All right, guys. Here's the.
Are you want to get on this, or you
No,
definitively not want to get
You
on
guys
it?
have any idea how much I've had to drink?
Yeah, we do. We do.
I'm trying to come down so I can drive home.
Here, right.
that's
Here is for getting down deep in the Fac hole. Let's go, Givali.
Wow, Givali. We need whatever it is. We need to learn what it is in Argentina. What do they say? Salud, maybe?
Salute.
Got me honking like a goose. The other guy that I think deserves a mention, then we'll go to break and talk a few more big picture things to close out.
Put ginger ale or something.
Dad. Once again, Dad comes through. 15 minutes, he gets 10 points. He's a +9. He goes 5 of 10 from the field, including some big-time buckets. Again, the defense, tonight was an intense game. He still got buckets. I feel like Dad, more than anybody else, might have paced this regular season perfectly.
Totally.
And, he is in the best shape he's been in all season.
Dude.
He's the healthiest he's been all season, knock on wood.
So Dad.
Such a Dad thing to do.
You know what Dad does? He's like, you get on the road trip. People are like, hey, let's stop. He's like, no, trying to make good time here.
Yeah, he made good time. That is such a Dad thing.
And at
Let's
the
stick
end,
the landing here. Can you stick the landing
and
here?
then at the end, we're like, oh my God, Dad was right. We're here 2 hours earlier than we thought of. He's coming in clutch at the end. Dad, we knew you could do it. It's a beautiful thing to see. My throat's
thing
on
about
fire.
veteran players, though, right? Like
Yes.
they know the mileage. Especially guys who have played into postseasons. They understand how to get the best out of themselves.
It's so true.
And they know, like, okay, like I'm going to be honest, I'm 33 years old, and I'm not going to be able to, if I empty the tank in the first 2 months of the season, everybody's going to love me, but when I'm spent come postseason,
They will not love me.
I did not earn my paycheck. And
so
so
true.
him playing it cool, it's also an easy thing to, like, assign veterans. You know, like a guy just doesn't play very well early
Yeah.
on and then plays better, and it's like, oh, he was just saving it.
He's just resting.
He's just
Yeah.
working himself into shit. Okay.
But I think it's true though with Paul. Like
I think there's some level to it.
for sure.
But if a guy could just switch it on and off like that, like there would be big moments in games early in the season where you would never worry about it.
Well, it's like LeBron James does. I mean, Paul Millsap and LeBron James are exactly the same. I think everybody knows that.
Well, this is where you have to
enough.
give Malone credit, and also just like front office, because they bring in Uncle Paul and they like say like, you're not playing every single night, but when you do play, give it your all, because you get time off. Like we invested in you early, we brought you back, and Uncle Paul could have went anywhere else. He really could have been anywhere else, but he was like, you know what? I like what's going on over there. I like the situation that I'm in. And also, I know that there's going to be moments that they're really going to need me, and I'm going to step up. Tonight is a night that he steps up. And they really did need him as far as his physicality, his just understanding where to be. He's been in so many like big games. And I know AJ doesn't like the term clutch, but
I think it's the concept, not the term.
yeah,
but
yeah, the concept of clutch.
You can call it whatever you want. You don't like the concept.
Yeah, the concept of it. But when you're labeled as that, and then you prove it time and time again, that's when it starts to pick up. That's when it becomes big. And Paul Millsap is clutch in his own ways, because he understands that when there's a big moment, when there's a big game, I'm going to step up and I'm going to like rise to the occasion.
Him stepping up to Marcus Morris last year was one of the biggest moments, and that could be considered a clutch, a certain type of clutch. Like it was the team
Don't back
needed
down, yeah.
needed a we are not backing down moment, and he provided it. And I think that's sort of what you're hitting on with Paul Millsap. He knows the pulse of the team and where he fits into it. Now now where he is, I wouldn't be surprised if Dad signs again next year. Like you see a team like this, and you're just like, why would you quit? If you have in the tank, why would you go to Golden State or Miami if you have a role on this team? We're going to take our last break, but you don't want to go anywhere, because in the final segment, I'm going to tease it right now.
Oh boy.
There's an apology tour that has to happen,
All right,
and
I'll
it
get
starts
ready.
with me.
What?
It includes you.
Oh,
It
I thought
includes
it
you
was-
as well.
I thought we were gonna
and
talk
that
about
is that
behavior.
this second unit of 3 guards and 2
boy.
power forwards and no center
Heavens to Betsy.
has actually turned out to be one of the best parts about this team, and who the hell would have saw that coming? Only Michael Malone and literally no one else on earth, and that's why he's the GOAT. But we're going to tell you
That's
about
why everybody fucks his
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. You guys know all about it. You download it right now. You use promo code DNVR. They've got so many good deals. We're in between deals right now, but they've already got deals, so you can hop on there now. They'll do a
deals.
deposit match. They give you all kinds of crazy, like your first bet is a guaranteed winner no matter what. Almost guaranteed. I shouldn't say guaranteed. Almost a guaranteed winner. You're going to want to do that. It's also safe, secure, and reliable. It's easy to deposit and withdraw your funds. Just so you know, you just won $1,000 on Jokic's MVP. Guess what? You can pull it out right then and there. That's how it is. It's not like one of these offshore places
Yeah, where
where,
you're
it's like 3 weeks and they send it to you.
Send a picture of your driver's license.
Yeah, and all this stuff. No, it's safe, secure, and reliable, and it makes it a lot of fun. I'm telling you, our bets, man, if there's a game where you're not really that interested, you put a little money on it, you have so much fun. So download the top-rated sportsbook app right now. Use promo code DNVR when you sign up. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. And that takes us to the pick of the week.
Oh, holy smokes.
And it's actually going into next week, and here it is. I didn't even have to look. I'm giving it this time.
Oh, boy.
Do you want to know what it is?
Is it?
What is it?
It's not Aaron Gordon, is
Take
it?
the under on Nuggets-Lakers. And here's why. Sports books and the betting public have not yet figured this out. The Nuggets are a defensive team. I'll say it again. The Nuggets are a defensive team.
Were you looking for the
Everybody
reaction?
right now thinks that, it's just going to be a shootout at the OK Corral with these Nuggets who put Jokic in the pick and roll. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's on skate. They think Jokic is as bad as Rudy Gobert out on the perimeter. Can you guys believe that? They think he's as
disgusting.
bad as Rudy Gobert is.
It's embarrassing.
Did you see Rudy Gobert's Heisman the other day? Take the under. I'm telling you right now, it's an absolute lock. Stone cold lock. Do you guys want to know also what I had for dinner tonight?
What's that?
You know, because you had the same thing.
Beef
We had
stroganoff.
a Wagyu burger from Hassel Cattle Company.
We in
served
fact
here at
had
the
it.
bar.
We did. We've been telling you it's here at the bar. It finally actually is here at the bar. The Wagyu, Hassel Cattle Company provided Wagyu beef burger. I had it tonight. It was fantastic. I thought the burger was perfect. It was even made more perfect. Also, you guys want to know a funny story?
Yes.
Eric, on his way to the bar, was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Carrying $300 worth of meat.
No, that's not true. I was carrying $500.
$500 worth of meat on a scooter from his house.
That's right.
He scootered all the way here with
disgusting.
one leg on it, like Washington crossing the Delaware.
Yeah.
He rode his entire
Triumphant.
scooter the entire way
That's
with
right.
meat in a package under his.
That's
under
right.
his foot.
I went through Cheeseman Park. A lot of people were out there enjoying the sun, being healthy, and I was scootering through with $500 worth of meat.
So if you guys think we're only like selling this and we don't actually eat it, not only did I eat it for dinner tonight, did he eat it for dinner, but he also scootered his
Dude, I'm
way to
telling-
work the other day.
I'm telling you, those
With-
ribeyes are the best thing in my life. After, I don't know. Gabby and I we talk, but we're not like. It's not like me and Hassel. Me and Hassel have something special.
So check them out. Hassel Cattle Company, HASSEL cattlecompany.com. Use promo code DNVR10. Get 10% off. And then last, want to tell you about Illegal Pete's. Save the best for last, many people will say. It's the best Mexican grill here in Colorado. Colorado's own. So you go there, you get the burrito, the bowl, the tacos. Fantastic. And what they do different than everybody else, not the stir. They do that, but you don't have to go. Not everybody likes the stir. I don't
Everyone
like it.
loves the stir.
What they also have, though, Colorado green chili.
Holy
I was
smokes.
talking to some family, by the way, my Mexican family in Texas. No green chili to be had. You believe
No,
this?
that's
Look, I
it's
grew up
New
in
Mexican.
Texas. It's not a green chili. Green chili is not a
It's
thing
New
there.
It's not a thing there.
Green chili is New Mexico and Colorado and nowhere else.
Colorado.
They went
Man,
down there
so
thinking
good.
they went to get some Mexican food, and they were like, "Where's the green chili? There's no green chili." But you know what? Illegal Pizza's Colorado, not
Texans are
Texas.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, Illegal Pizza's so Colorado, and they've got the green chili. So check them out. You
The
guys know we
stir,
love
though, dude. It's
Illegal
all about
Pizza.
the stir.
Illegal Pizza, dare I say, as Colorado as DNVR.
Holy smokes.
All right, final segment here, guys. That ad read took 20 minutes. I apologize. It's apology time.
Wow.
Because I'm going to be here's what I want to ask. 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago, that Millsap, Jermichael Green duo, and then you pair it with back in the day, it was actually
Cal, do you have any
even
serious
better
music
players.
that you can queue up for when we deliver these apologies?
I did at one point had
wrong
a
with
song
Whitney
that was
Houston?
perfect for these exact moments. But
Do you want to apologize to I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston?
But lo and behold, here we are just a few weeks later, and this lineup kicks ass. I love this lineup. This lineup is like half drunk. Meet me in the alleyway. I'm gonna fist fight you over broken bottles of glass. That's what this lineup is.
Me.
What's that? Am I looking at-
This lineup is me.
You-
Let's go.
This lineup is so mean.
The reason for it is because we've been watching the Nuggets for years now. We don't understand it, so how do you think the opposing team is going to understand it? It just doesn't make sense while making the most sense.
This lineup is like nobody wants to go against it because they're like, dude, all of these dudes play like Facu level intensity. They're switchable. Shaq Harrison, by the way, Shaq Harrison is a nugget. Somebody asked me the other day after they saw Austin Rivers' interview, they said, does he have some Mr. Nugget potential in him? And I'm sitting here thinking, kind of does.
Dude, we're back into Mr. Nuggets.
We got
man.
so many
We have
Mr.
so many
Nugget.
Mr. Nuggets, dude.
Like, when you go through, and look at that lineup, we'll just start with Shaq Harrison since we're talking about him. He has every
love Shaq
stat
Harrison.
but a bucket, and we think he played
Is it
well.
true? He has 0 points. You're right.
Yeah,
2
he has a
rebounds, 1
block.
assist, 1 steal, 1 block.
He did everything but score,
Plus
and
12.
it was a plus 12. They don't have to score. That unit does not score. You talked about the lines not understanding that Denver is a defensive team. That second unit is a defensive team. They changed the outcome of the game,
It's so
the
confusing.
outlook. And also, you have Jokic that you have to prepare for in the first unit. In the second unit, we don't know who we have to prepare
It is so
for.
different. It is it is hard to get 2 game plans. One
It
that's
is.
like the starters, and then the bench comes in completely different. Throw out the game plan, now
And
we
then
have to do
on
something
top of
new.
that, they'll throw in Michael Porter Jr. and get him going in that unit.
He fits
So now you're
perfect,
like,
like a
okay, we're
glove.
trying to focus on him, but there's these other guys. We don't know what to do with them. Maybe we should double team? I don't know. And nobody scores, but that means that you're not scoring. And it's giving Jokic time on the bench and that other second unit. The starters time on the bench, and then they come in and they just destroy you in the third quarter.
All right, this is going to be a little tough. I'm a prideful person.
You are prideful, very prideful.
When I say things, I want them to mean something.
okay,
Paul Millsap, Jermichael Green, I'm sorry. I doubted you. I thought the two of you on the court at the same time was a colossal mistake. I'll throw Michael Malone into this.
I was going to say, I think the apology needs to be directed towards Michael Malone.
Came out with much fury. Furious anger.
Well, yeah.
About that second unit. About that pairing. Where's JaVale McGee, I would say. You heard me say
I did it. You said those exact words.
Look at the egg on my face, guys.
That's so
It's
much
covered
egg.
you know who else I...
It's an ostrich egg on your face.
You know who else I owe an apology to? Austin Rivers.
Oh.
Austin Rivers, I said, with no uncertain language, that I didn't like him.
Multiple times.
I think I said he sucked. I think I said
I don't
that.
think you said that.
No, he said that. He almost
say it?
he
Wow, I
probably
didn't
said
hear
the
that
word
one.
hate.
And then you know what happened? I watched the interview where he was the most charming human being I've ever encountered in my entire life.
He
And then
said nice things about you and your team.
And then I had to look inward, and I found that the problem was me.
It's
It really was you.
It's you. I've been saying this the whole time.
Speaking of you, D-Line, important super chat here.
Oh, no.
Smug Life back.
What up,
I can't-
Mike? What
dude,
up, Mike Wilson?
Do not put Smug
the
Life back
homie.
in there.
Yeah, it's not. Smug Life's gone. We're never bringing it back. Smug Life, we buried it.
I can't do Smug Life again.
It's like Chernobyl. We built a concrete dome over
well,
it.
to be
There's-
honest, like
it's gone.
To be honest, yes, but I mean, I can't publicly say that Smug Life is bad.
Well, I want to say, speaking of Austin Rivers tonight, so Shaq Harrison had the best line, 0 points, 2-1-1-1, plus 12. Austin Rivers had the second best line, 1 of 7 tonight. Did not make shots. He did make one that was actually really big, a big three. But guess what? Plus 22.
Plus 22.
Who knew Austin Rivers was going to come here to be a glue guy / defensive
a
ace?
glue man,
Defense.
a glueman.
Some of us called him a bucket.
He's definitely not a bucket.
He has
He's
not been a
definitely
bucket.
not a bucket.
So what if he becomes a bucket, which is what we
Hold on,
thought it
listen.
would be?
Some of
You
us
think he'll
called him
become
a
a
bucket, and he has proven that he's not a bucket. He's a lockdown defender. He's
defender.
a difference maker, a game changer out there. And that's what he's been doing. The one thing that he's known for, he has not done. And he has still been great. He was a plus 22 tonight.
AJ is definitely feeling
A plus
his shots
22.
earlier. You can be excused if you want. You don't have to be stuck here on the couch.
Comfortable couch.
Well, we're wrapping up here anyway because here I kind of want to just close with this. Like, I'm just so. It's weird to say proud of the team, but I am proud of them. Like, I just
No,
enjoy.
we're allowed to be proud of this team.
I'm just inspired by I keep using the word inspired, but it really is true. Like, everything. So many things have gone wrong for them lately. So many people have counted them out when they were fully healthy. Now that they're not, and they just keep doing this in the best way possible as a team, as a cohesive unit, and with such joy and pride and all these different things. And I just look at them and I'm like, you know what? Let's go out in the alley. Let's fist fight. You know,
Dude,
it's like this team's going out in the alley. I'm going out in the alley. I got your back too. I'm ready. Let's do this brawl. The Lakers come in on Monday. Let's do it.
Me too. I'm definitely not going in the alley, but I will watch from the window.
All right. Well,
and
we all
cheer
have
them
our
on.
part to play. So soft.
I am
over
soft.
here.
That's my role here at DNVR.
I would have never guessed that, man. Would have never guessed that.
Guys, we had a banger crowd on the YouTube chat today. I think one of our biggest that we've ever had, maybe since the playoffs last year, and it was awesome. I can't wait to go back and read all of the comments that are coming through here. Big shouts to AJ. You guys, Avs are great chance to win the Stanley Cup. I don't want to jinx it. They have
They're really good.
They're dope.
they're
as fuck.
really freaking
They're
good.
really
They're very fun to watch.
Well, I did hear it. Yeah, you guys were not afraid of jinxing anything. You guys are feeling it.
The freedom of not believing in jinxes is I can say whatever the hell I want. I don't worry about it because guess what? I don't play in the games.
It's so true. Yeah.
So
yeah.
when something happens or doesn't happen that I say may or may not happen, I am not responsible.
Well,
for
all
those
I know is that
outcomes.
we created the Smuggets for like 3 days, and the basketball gods smited us harder than we've ever been smited. So I don't believe in them either, but I kind of also do.
Dude, Smuggets was a great place to live.
It was
wasn't it?
it was worth it. It was such a great 3 or 4 days. But guys, this team is fun. You guys are awesome. We really appreciate it, and I can't wait. Lakers in town, always special. Or I guess Nuggets in town for the Lakers, always special. Nuggets Lakers, even more special when Denver can continue their spiral. Like if Denver gets them, that Kings game, the Lakers just lost to the Kings. That was tough.
Oh.
Denver knocks them down. They might be staring
Dude, I'm
at the
saying-
7 seed.
I'm saying if the Nuggets can easily beat the Lakers, they should just start tanking so that we get the Lakers. Why are we avoiding this team that everybody beats?
That would be hilarious. Lakers like, what is happening here? Like, we want you guys.
I also have one important thing I want to make sure it gets in on this. I want to wish the happiest of birthdays to one Harrison Wynn. We
Wynn.
mentioned it in the pregame. It hasn't come up in the main show. What a homie.
What a homie here. So yeah, such a homie. He left us on his birthday, but that's
Thanks,
neither here nor
Harrison.
there. He had bigger fish to fry.
Can I just mention what a strange dichotomy in cultures it is that we're sitting here talking about teams like tanking for position and like, oh, I don't want to play this team or that team. And I just had like an hour ago like an epic meltdown in which I screamed about how I wasn't afraid of the Avs playing anybody. And
I
it's
felt
just
that
like-
way.
And it's just like the cultures are different because in the NBA, it's very much an accepted conversation. Like, you avoid this team, you avoid that team. You don't like there are stylistic nightmares that are true disasters in the NBA, and it just isn't really nearly as true for the NHL side of things. Like, there are bad matchups, but ultimately, like, if you're good enough, you're good enough, and that's what the 7 games are for. But in the NBA, it's such a normalized thing to just be like, we don't want those guys.
Well, I'll tell
And
you
it's
what.
a weird thing to me to admit to that. Like,
You must be
out
part
loud.
Serbian because the Serbians have also really been talking to
AJ's
me a lot
definitely part
lately.
Serbian.
He's
It's
definitely
weird-
part Serbian.
It's weird you ducked the Rocky with this.
Yeah, it's
rich
true. Well,
heritage
maybe he's
you
not
got.
Serbian.
it's just been too much for me to drink. I go ham like this like once a year. And it's just knowing that I would very much like to drive in
You know
2
what we
hours.
need right now? Some ham. That'd be amazing.
Guys, everybody that rode with us to the very end, we love you guys. We really appreciate it. And I'm going to miss you tomorrow because we're not doing anything tomorrow, but we will be back Monday. Nuggets, Lakers, bring it on. Come to the bar, hang out, get crazy. It's
Let's
a Monday
freaking
night.
go.
Monday night, let's get
Anything.
crazy. We'll see you all then, everybody.